Hello everyone, welcome to aBlogtoWatch. My name is Aaron Shapiro. Please like and subscribe if you find these videos useful. Today we are going to be talking about the Farer Hudson. If you're not familiar with Farer, they are an independent watch brand, a micro brand that kind of specializes in these vintage-inspired collections of watches. Their watches are typically released in series of 3 or 4, all with very, very different dial aesthetics and different overall just sort of looks to each individual watch. They almost act as different models altogether, but part of a same theme. A lot of their watches and the aesthetics of their watches kind of come from this like very classical sense of adventure. They have a mechanical series of 3-handers, a mechanical series of GMTs and divers. They did some quartz GMTs, and then they released these, which are a really interesting collection of 37mm cased hand-wound movements. You can see here that the movement is currently, let me get it to focus. The movement is currently stopped, and I can wind this up and you'll see that subdial start to tick. Yeah. So again, these are 37mm cases. They are this kind of like tonneau or cushion cased watch. There are 3 different versions. This is the Hudson, which has this kind of sea green, sea blue sunburst dial, which is really, really lovely. They all are sub-seconds at 6, and they all have these kind of steel baton hands here. They are remarkably thin. These watches come in at under 10 millimeters thick. I think that the measurement that I got off of them was 8 and a fraction of a millimeter, so just actually under 9 millimeters thick. They are running the ETA 7001 hand-wound movement, really nicely decorated with some Geneve striping there, blued screws. You can just see this polish on this case is beautiful too. You can kind of see me reflected in the case as well. Just a really, really nicely done watch. It fits really well. Let me put it on my wrist for you guys to see a good wrist shot of it. Farer is also including it on a selection of different straps. This is kind of a dark blue or black padded leather strap. My wrist is about 7 1/4 inches as well, so you can see it nicely fits with a signed buckle. Overall, it's a really good look. You can see just how trim and thin it rides on my wrist there. Let me take it back off so I can address more of the dial here. One of the things that I really like that Farer does across many of their watches is they do incorporate a lot of depth to it. So you can see that the dial is stepped in the center, but then if you look really closely, let me see if I can get my camera to focus. There it is. The sub-second is stepped as well. And then I think that this dial in particular is also, I made it worse. This dial in particular is also a really nice study in contrast because you have these long white loomed hour indices here and these polished steel hands, but then you also have this orange second hand. It's just a really nicely done dial. Easy to read quickly, looks classy and kind of dressy, but still retains that, I don't know, this would look at home on the wrist of somebody wearing a dress shirt as it would with somebody with a t-shirt and shorts. I think this would be a very versatile watch for you to wear. This movement has a lot of provenance to it. This has been used by Blancpain. It's the basis for what were some of the early Nomos hand-wound movements before they got into their in-house stuff. I think it's nice. It performs well. It's been keeping strong time for me. One of the things Farer does is it includes these quick release straps here, so you can pull this over and that will release the spring bar. Pretty cool. Nice little detail on their OEM straps. I have found this watch to be really, really comfortable to wear. It's nice. I am somebody that typically wears a larger watch. I would trend towards like a 40 to 42, but I did not feel like this 37mm cased watch was too small for me. I thought it was a nice size overall. One of the other things that Farer is known for is they do these kind of bronze or brass inlaid crowns. Now, normally the whole crown is bronze, but this time, since you're going to be hand winding it, they inlaid this signed crown here. I have heard that people don't like this. I think it's kind of a neat detail, and I like that they changed it on this hand wound watch so that you're not discoloring your fingers as you wind it up every day. All in all, a really nice piece. These are available from Farer now. I actually just got an email today that they have received these in and they are ready to ship out this week. They're about $1,100 and some change from Farer directly, and you can select yours. So these are numbered too. Let's see if this one has a number since this is a review sample. Yeah, so you can see here, let's see if it focuses, 004. So this is number 4. And you would pick your number. That's the one they would ship to you. It's a nice experience altogether. I really enjoyed it. I've owned one of their GMTs before, and I got to pick the number on that as well. So as you can see, Sapphire Crystal, you've got a 5 atmosphere depth rating, so this is not going to be something you're going to want to get wet. And again, it's a 37mm case, under 10mm thick. Overall, I just think this is a nice addition to a collection. If someone is looking to get something a little dressier but is a little more unusual, this would be a good pickup. I think it's priced pretty fair for the level of work that goes into it. So anyway, guys, thanks again. My name is Aaron from aBlogtoWatch, and I look forward to seeing you over on the website.